Queensland, and it's a little cold this morning, and I'm a sook. I know. Guys, the sky is pink behind me. The sky is going to rise. The sunrise is going to rise in 5 minutes. I'm going to go, but the car is still warming up. Car safety or car love. You let the car warm up. Like rin, 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 rin. I don't do too much of that really. I have my green juice with collagen powder. So, testing a few things out. My car is warm. Okay. Now, testing a few things out today. Putting my phone down. Will it cut out? Because this has happened the last couple of days. So you guys, look at that. Sunroof. I can't have... Oh. We're going to give Diego a bit of a kiss while we leave. Let's give him a kiss. A cheeky little kiss. A cheeky little kiss. Cheeky little kiss. Mwah. See you, Bob. Bye. So yeah, Diego's going to work. He's a little late this morning. It is 6:16 a.m. Dora is a little late, but you know what? It doesn't matter. The sun is rising every day by the minute earlier. So that means I have to get up earlier. It means a lot of things, right? So, yeah. And it means I have to get up earlier. And it's hard. I did set the alarm for 10 to 5. Oh my gosh, 10 to 6. Get it right. Set the alarm to 10 to 6. The reason why you're sitting down there is because in Australia, we are not allowed to touch the phone. And I am so good at following rules, right? That I didn't touch the phone, right? Because you're not allowed to touch the phone. So, guess what I realised what happened on my last live? Actually, the last live, yeah. Well, second last live, because third last live, because driving away to myself, talking away, and I had Heather in the background. Who else did I have in the background? A few other people in the background. And guess what? I get to the beach, I look at the comments, and everyone's like, I bet you any money, I think it was Mike. Mike said, I bet you any money she's still talking to herself. And sure enough, I had been talking to myself because the phone had zoned out. Now, so then I started another one, and I did a nice walk, and then suddenly it dropped out again. And that was because I was in a sus location, and sometimes it's hit and miss there, but I've been pretty lucky lately. So then I started another one. Sure enough, I had to go to the toilet because, you know, after lots of walking and lots of drinking water, you need to go to the toilet. Turn the camera off, so you can't see anything, right, and hear anything. And I put the phone down, lying down like it is now. Guess what? It locked off again. It turned off again. I'm like, what the hell? Seems to be like it's happening quite a bit lately. I've got a pretty new phone, so it's quite unusual. Anyway, Paul D Australia, my mate, he's been on a lot of the lives where it just switches off. Like the week before, there was something else in my yard. I was in my yard. I had a really good live happening. Lots of people were having a good old chat. And they weren't even talking to me. They were talking to each other in the chat, right? And guess what? I'm at home showing my yard. I bend down into the chicken house to show Blackie, our blind chicken, and it turns off. As in it disconnects because there's not enough bandwidth or something's happening, it's covered. So anyway, I did a bit of Googling. Paul said that he looked up a couple of things, and so I looked at a couple of those things. Then I also went, you know what, I'm just going to chuck it into Google. So I literally went, hi, whoever's there, how you going? I can't touch the phone, but you're about to see a pink sunrise. And I can see it because I'm just coming around the corner at the beach. And we have just got there in time. The sunrise is at 6:20, it's 6:19. So don't stress, we're going to see it. Plus there's clouds. So it's going to be harder to see. But that's all right. It's still absolutely stunning. Like really stunning. So yeah, you're not going to miss out. But anyway, I just literally put into Google, iPhone 16 Pro disconnects in live streams. and it told me a whole lot of stuff. Like my lock screen, you know, your screensaver, it comes on after 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute drive to get down to the beach. So that's why it locked off when I put the phone down. And guess what? I'm looking at the phone and it's still there. I think it's still there. Still there? Is someone there? Hey, Susan! Are you still there? Am I here? Okay, I think I'm here. Oh my gosh. So crazy. Okay. Let me just show you what we're working with. Okay, let's just get out of the car. That's a better idea. How are you, Susan? Look at this, peekaboo. Look at that. That is so nice. Okay. We need to get a hat. And lock the car. We have a professional photographer down here. He's got his tripod-y thing. This is my tripod. Oh, look at this, guys. He's going to take my... I love being on this. Okay, no, don't worry. I thought he was going to stand on that one because I think that one's a nice one there too. I love standing on these sand flats and getting a photo because the reflection is really cool. See the sky in the reflection? Wow, okay, look at the sunrise, guys. Oh, stunning. If I zoom in, you'll see a lot more. There, it's a ball of fire. She's on fire, literally. Oh, you know what? This is the best part of winter, Susan. I know. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, now I need to put the camera down, guys. You guys enjoy the sunrise with my little tripod. Now, where are we going to set up? Because I do want to go on the sand flat there. Got a bit of height here to act as a tripod. Now, let's just go like that. Maybe I need to do it a little bit bigger. Okay, let's go like this. Now this is like, I'm thinking about you guys, okay? I'm trying to... Okay. Now I'm going to try to use this as a tripod because I have my other phone and I forgot to bring 2 things down as a tripod. Okay. That looks better for you guys. Thanks, Susan. All right, so I've set it up. There's my other phone. It's on already. I'm turning this around so you have the better camera. Whoops. There you go. All right. I don't know what you saw of that, guys, but all I can say is my feet got wet. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is very, like, if I zoom in, guys, it's a better sunrise, but it's a bit pixelated because I have to zoom in, right? But that's okay, guys. This is really nice. Not the sky I thought it was going to be, because the clouds are in its way. But still, it's a pretty little morning. Look at that. That is beautiful. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Look at that. So they always say, when you're looking at the sunrise or sunset, don't just look at the sun setting or the sun rising. Look at the skies around it, because that also can tell a beautiful picture. And look at the reflection. I love that. That is so beautiful. That's just the clouds, water over the sand. Hey Kelly, how you going? So just having a look at the sunset, or sunrise, should I say, and we're looking at the clouds over the sand flats, so to speak. And then we have the sunrise, but yeah, it's behind the clouds, but that's okay. I actually think we're going to be probably getting a really nice sunrise when it goes above those clouds. So it is 6:27 a.m. on Wednesday morning here in Australia. And thank you, Susan, for sharing where I live. So I live in Redcliffe, Queensland, Australia. G'day, mate. So my friend High Country Homestead is Susan, and she's in Victoria. So she's watching the sunrise too. I'm always curious about what you're seeing, Susan. So if you could give me a little bit of play-by-play, what you're looking at out your window. And I'm guessing that it's a little cold out your window compared to my window. How are you going, Kelly? So we've got Teacher Kelly. Kelly Tag. I didn't actually. Teacher Kelly Tag. I never realised that it was Tag at the end. I'm guessing your last name is Tag, maybe Kelly. But anyway, Teacher Kelly, or Kelly, she is from, oh my gosh, I know that. Oh no, she's from West Coast of America. Okay, she's from the West Coast from America, and she is a special education teacher. So you've just gone back to school, Kelly, haven't you? Because your summer holidays is finished, is that correct? And yeah, you've gone back to school. How is that going for you? So Kelly, have you met High Country Homestead, which is Susan? I think you have before, haven't you? So yeah, call her Susan if you like, because yeah, it's hard to say High Country High Country Homestead. I always forget to say the same. Oh, East Coast. Oh my gosh, why did I think you were on the West Coast? Okay, yes, you're on the East. Okay, East Coast. So you could live in Massachusetts, you could live in New Jersey, you could live in Florida, New York, Pennsylvania. I really don't know my states like this, where they are very well. The only reason I know it goes Massachusetts, New Jersey, Massachusetts, doesn't it? New York. Oh, I've got it the wrong way around. Only because I did a road, I drove from Massachusetts one time to Philadelphia to catch a plane to Cancun. And I think I've just got that all completely wrong. It was 25 years ago, mind you. So anyway, the memory doesn't remember very well sometimes. Okay, so Susan's saying she's giving a play-by-play of her sunrise. My sunrise has just disappeared, so let's just talk about Susan from High Country Homestead. So she's in Victoria. Like, if we went that away and drove for about 12 hours, well, we could see tomorrow's sunrise. But tomorrow's sunrise might sound like this. It's dark with thick mist, as we had a drop of rain overnight. I don't think we'll be having a sunrise today. Okay, so if I drove 12 hours that way, non-stop, potentially I'd get to Susan's. I'd be very tired. Hopefully she'd offer me a bed to sleep in because, I'm just inviting myself to this adventure, right? And then tomorrow morning, well, we may or may not see a sunrise. So do you think it might be better off if I stay here? First of all, I've just invited myself. Secondly, I'm working tomorrow, so that probably wouldn't be a good idea to do. But just pretend if I drove that way, I would see that sunrise. Well, Kelly, Kelly's saying that I know a little bit my US geography better than Australian geography. Well, it's only because I've travelled to America, and I've only travelled like a minute little bit. And that's probably why I know where things are in Europe, because I travelled there. So otherwise I'd be clueless, honestly. I wasn't a good student. I'm probably dyslexic. I haven't been diagnosed, but I spell everything. I miss words when I spell things. I talk really fast, so I write how I write as fast as I walk. Oh my gosh. I type as fast as I speak. I miss out whole words. Spelling is sometimes really weird and backwards. I have to proofread like 2 or 3 times. So I really didn't learn much at school, I'm gonna be honest. I had a great social, put it that way. I made lots of really lifelong friends. They're still in my life. But yeah, school wasn't my thing. Definitely, I say university. I know to Americans they say college. So university or college is travel to me. That's how I've learnt a lot about the world, about myself, about humans, cultures, geography, budgeting, everything. It's amazing what I've learned through travel. Hey, Oakley, Lindra, Aussies. Are you Aussie too? Oi, 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 Aussie, oi, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. So sorry, Kelly. That is just, we shorten everything in Australia. When I say Aussie, some people don't know what I'm really talking about. They're like, what are you talking about? So Aussie is Australian, just a nickname slang for it. And the Aussie oi is our kind of our war cheer. Not that we have wars, but our cheer for the Olympics, or if there's a international football game, we'll yell out Aussie oi, oi, oi. It's very funny. It's very fun actually. But yeah, we do shorten a lot of things. Oh, we have another Aussie chick. 8888. Oh, hello. How are you? You just subbed me. Oh, okay. Thank you. Do you post content? I hope you look at my videos too. I post about adventures that I do around the world and in Australia. I like to do lives a couple times a week from my home beach here at Redcliffe. This is Moreton Bay. So I'm in southeast Queensland in Redcliffe. I don't know if the Aussies in the chat know where that is or they've been. It's a nice little place. We've got swimmers out here, guys. I don't know if you can see that. There is someone swimming, and it is winter time, guys, here. That's someone swimming. And then this lady here, I think she's trying to catch up to her friend that's swimming already, because she's got a little, see the little orange thing she's cuddling? That's how you put it, it swims behind you so that people don't hit you if you weren't looked at by a boat. So that's a safety thing. So here she's coming in. She or he, I don't know. I can't tell. So there, they've got a wetsuit on. Even though it's not overly freezing here, like I'm in leggings and a jacket, like a sweater or a cardigan or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so they have a wetsuit on. But they generally swim all year round here. There's normally about 8 of them that swim. So this person's just about to jump in. Yep, Redcliffe is near Brisbane. So yeah, on a good day you could get there in 30 minutes, but that's a good day. Hi guys, we've got the sunrise coming through now. Yay, look guys, sunrise. It is winter down under, but it's not that bad, guys. Like by the end of my walk, I'll have taken my cardigan off or my sweater off. We use different terminologies here in Australia too. So what I'm wearing right now, I call it a jumper. But you guys in America would probably call this a sweater. I've just got to stay here and look at this, guys. Smell the roses moments, right? I should shut up and just let you look at that. Kevin, you missed the jump. Already did one. Oh, it's Carney. Carney. Oh, Carney. A t-shirt. A shirt, yes. Snags, yeah, I love snags, hey. So Kelly, if you're in the chat still, I think there's a lot of Australians in the chat, which is really quite interesting. I don't normally get a lot of Australians in my chat. But bangers could refer to a few things. Bangers could be a good song, like, oh, that's a banging song, right? Or it can refer to sausages. So most times we'll go, oh, what are we having for dinner? Snags. It's very, not too many people say, yeah, I'm just going to pull the sausages out of the fridge. Like my partner would go, I'm just going to pull the snags out of the fridge. So everything gets shortened here. So if your name is Kevin, you'd be called Kev. If your name is Kylie, we'd even try to shorten that, right? Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyles. I mean, even like by dropping one letter. That's what we do here. Everyone gets a shortened name. Or they refer to them as their surnames. So it's quite interesting. A lot of people have quite, their names have been shortened, like Michael, Mick, Jace, as in Jas. Many. It's interesting. And like just, for example, I've got to be careful when I talk sometimes. Like if I'm doing a live in the afternoon and I'll just be rabbiting on, right? And I'll go, oh yeah, this Arvo. And someone will say in the chat, what are you talking about? What's Arvo? And I'll say, oh, this Arvo. But you've got to remember that, well, I ought to remember that Australians use that. This Arvo means this afternoon. Don't ask me how we get this afternoon into Arvo, as in A-R-V-O, but we do. So it's quite common terminology to say, hey, what are you doing this Arvo? Do you want to meet up this Arvo? Do you want to go have a drink this Arvo? I'll come around for dinner this Arvo. Yeah, so as I said, I'm unapologetically Australian. And yeah, I will use slang. And it's very interesting that, yeah, my friends from the Northern Hemisphere will be like, what is she saying? Like, for example, avocado, avo. What are you having on your toast? Avo. Would you like some avo on toast? Love avo on toast. I'm having avo on toast when I get home for breakfast. So I've got a nice, soft, juicy avocado. It's the season right now, so lots of avocados out. And yeah, avocado on toast with a bit of salt and pepper. Oof, Bob's your uncle for that one. So that's another saying that we say here in Australia a lot. I don't know, in the Northern Hemisphere. Kelly, do you use the saying, Bob's your uncle? I always say, Bob's my uncle, but really, my uncle was Jack. So I had my favourite uncle was Uncle Jack. He's now passed away, but it just doesn't sound the same. Jack's your uncle. Bob's your uncle. That sounds just so cool. Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle means like thumbs up. That's really cool. Great information. God, I've just a sea of information this morning about crap. A cookie biscuit. Oh, yeah, a cookie biscuit. Hang on, cookie biscuit. What is that actually short for? We just call them cookie biscuits. But it's actually, what does cookie stand for? No, in the Northern Hemisphere, they call them cookies too, don't they? Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure, don't they? Okay, now I'm confused. So guys, we were some new people to the chat this morning. So this is now 6:41 a.m. We are watching a sunrise that's a bit cloudy, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. Now I've got to remember to look at the other skies, because look how beautiful that is. And the reflection on the sand flats is really cool too. Look at this. Look at the sky and the clouds. So guys, we are at a beach called Redcliffe. This is actually the main beach, Redcliffe Beach. It's called Sutton's Beach. We've got some morning bike riders. Actually, today's Wednesday, right, guys? We have the moon up here. So this is Redcliffe Peninsula. This is where I live. It's like a little seaside village, just about 30 minutes from Brisbane, if you didn't have a lot of traffic. So really, probably an hour from Brisbane now. So beautiful. It's very flat, so we don't have the traditional waves of like the Gold Coast. So if people think of Australia, they think of the Gold Coast, where the yellow sands, blue beaches, blue waters, not big, but like they've got waves, right? We actually have an island out here. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. You can see an island. That is Moreton Island. So this bay is called Moreton Bay. So that's why we actually don't have big waves. So it's quite popular on the weekends as a little beach, like a beach hotspot for families to come. There's barbecues, there's toilets, there's shade, lots of places to have shade, like to be under shade, because it's quite warm here in summer. Even winter time, it's quite warm. And so yep, you can zoom in there. There's some shelters that you can have barbecues and tables and chairs. There's playgrounds. There's a lot of green area, green space. They've really done a nice job down there, and they clean the beaches up on a Friday. They rake, there's a big truck that comes through and rakes all the sand, makes it all pretty looking for the weekend. So this whole beach up here, till about, to this storm water drain thingamajiggy, gets all nicely raked, so it's all ready for the weekend. So it's quite nice, actually. So people in the chat, if you're from Australia, have you been here before? So there are cliffs here, Taylor. So that's why Redcliffe is called Redcliffe, because we have red cliffs. Not where I am here, just about 10 minutes that way, driving. So some mornings I do a live down there. I'll show you that. Probably on a Friday morning I do a live down there. But yeah, just here, there's no cliffs. This is pretty much all beach. And I'm going to go walking that way when I stop looking at the sunrise. So I generally walk for about an hour and a half. I've actually got the day off today. Well, actually, I think I have the day off today, guys. Today is Wednesday. It's actually a public holiday in Brisbane today. So today will actually be quite busy in this little area. Some people will come to this beach because it's a holiday in the Brisbane area. We actually have a royal show. It's called the Brisbane Show. We call it the Ekka. The Brisbane Exhibition, but we shorten that to Ekka, E-K-K-A. So the Ekka. So it's a 10-day event. It's a pretty big, I think Americans would call it a fair, right? Like, Ferris wheels and show bags and lots of food. And it's basically where most of the country comes into the Brisbane, and they show off their animals. That's what the original show was about. Basically bringing your animals in to get shown. And the top dog, the top, pig, cows, lots of chickens and roosters. It's amazing to see. Actually, Susan, who's in the chat, she's high country homesteading. She's from the Alpine region of Australia in Victoria. So she does a lot of homesteading, but she has cows and she's got alpacas and she's got chickens. She would probably love our show because it's got these cool, the bulls are massive, massive. We're talking massive. So it's really interesting to go see. So I'm actually going to go tomorrow. So you won't see me tomorrow. That's okay, because you didn't see me yesterday either. So I don't do lives every day now. Last month in July, I was doing lives every day just to kind of test the lives out. I'm going to bring a video out just telling you my feedback of what I found from all the lives I did, because I did a lot of lives. Guys, that's beautiful. So if you don't like the sound of my voice, just mute me, because that is just gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So I'll flip it around. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Dora behind the camera, not hiding. So Dora is my nickname, my alter ego. That's my channel name, Explorer. And I use, if you're thinking, oh, she can't spell, Explorer in Espanol, in Spanish, is explore. So like Dora the Explorer, which has been used to death, right? So Dora is a nickname. About 17 years ago, I was traveling in South America, playing a game of celebrity heads, and one of the girls nicknamed me Dora. And I didn't actually get my name, but we were picking names that we looked like. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm always wearing a backpack. I've got, short brownish hair, I guess, and I like to adventure. So the name Dora kind of stuck from that trip. All my friends, when I was traveling with them in South America, called me Dora. So yeah, it just stuck, and I still call myself Dora. My real name is Mutiara. So I'll let you see the sunrise behind me, because that's quite nice. So Mutiara is my real name. I'm half Indonesian, half Australian, born in the Brisbane hospital. So you can't get much more Brisbaneite than that, just saying. Australia is very multicultural. My dad was a bit of a backpacker, hence it rubbed off on me. He went to Indonesia, met my mother. They came back here. A couple years later, I was born. So I was first born, they called me Mutiara, which means pearl. So in the Indonesian, Bahasa Indonesian, Mutiara means pearl. And if your name is Margaret in Gaelic, that means pearl too. So you could call me Margaret, but people that know me, like Susan in the chat, Kelly in the chat, probably wouldn't say that I look like a Margaret. I'm just saying. I look a little different. I'm okay with that. I've got freckles. I just turned 50. I don't act like a 50-year-old. Never want to act like a 50-year-old. I have this ethos that, why do we stop playing? Why do we stop doing jumps and skipping down the beach and playing sandcastles? Not that I play sandcastles much, but I do this thing called jumping for joy, okay, let's do that now. Let me show you. Let me stop talking. I'm going to do a jumping for joy. Sunrise. Here's the sunrise. That is a jumping for joy. And it makes me laugh. It's joyful. People that are walking on the beach probably laugh at me too. They're probably laughing at me holding up the phone, talking to you guys, thinking, what is she doing? She's a weirdo. Haven't even drank my green juice. So yeah, that's my channel, Explorer Dora. The 80 at the end means that I want to go to 80 countries. So I'm up to country number 63. It's got a big question mark over that one. Country number 62 was back in May. I went to Luxembourg, and then I also went to Samoa in that month. So month of May was very good. It's my birthday month, and 50 is a big deal, guys. 50 is a big deal. So my friend Jazz, she's lurking in the background, listening, maybe on the replay. She says that 50 is her superpower. So 50 is a superpower. So yeah, I had a superpower month. So guys, we should probably start walking. Taylor, you must be Australian because you're very sarcastic. I love that. Yeah, because Luxembourg and Samoa are close together. Okay, you'd like to know the story about how I ended up in those two weird countries? So my friend Susan is High Country Homestead, and we are very similar, okay? And that could be very scary, and you probably go, oh my gosh, Susan must be a weirdo too. No, I love weirdos, right? So Susan is my weirdo. Her birthday's in May. Okay, Susan, is your birthday, are you a Taurus? Let's go with that. Are you a Taurus? Because I'm not going to say my date. Are you a Taurus? Please tell me you're a Taurus. Are you a Taurus? I'll tell you the story in a second, Taylor. Are you a Taurus, Susan? So I don't know if people, follow the star signs, but Tauruses are, well, if you're a Taurus, you are pretty stubborn. I'm very stubborn, pig-headed. You're very artistic. You're very loyal. So your friends know they're your friends. Susan! Okay, so ever since I've connected with Susan, I met Susan on a live, not my live, someone else's live. And I think I must have, sorry, pardon me. Oh, that's a bit rude of me. I must have said in the chat who's from Australia, and Susan says, I'm from Australia. I'm like, oh, hey. So anyway, we just got chatting, checked out each other's channels, because that's the thing to do, right? You don't just subscribe to people. Like, you should check out each other's channels, okay? Unless you like lives and that's what you want to do, that's fine, I get it. But don't sub for sub, guys. It's just a waste of time. But so I checked out Susan's channel, and she's got this so cool channel. She does homesteading. She's a 50-something lady doing this on the land by herself. She doesn't have a partner to help her. She's well cool. And she has an alpaca, which I'm obsessed with alpacas, because when I was in South America, love alpacas. They have lots of alpacas running around. Not really, but they use them as tourist magnets, so you get to do a little selfie with an alpaca. They become pets for the local Bolivian people and the Peruvian people. So anyway, that is so cool. So Susan and I have a lot of connections through a lot of things. So it's not surprising that we're both Tauruses. So that is really cool. Okay, so story time. So how did I end up in Samoa and then end up in Luxembourg? Because, as Taylor said, or someone said, but sarcastically, because I'm very sarcastic too. In Australia, we are very sarcastic. So I was having 2 weeks holiday in Samoa because it was my birthday. So my partner, Diego, also a nickname, guys. So Dora and Diego, obviously, we're not real. We're nicknames. My nickname stuck because it's been 17 years. Diego, I just call him that because we've been together about 7 years now. So he has been kind of adventuring with me for a while. So it'd be a bit weird to have Dora and so-and-so. So it's always Dora and Diego are doing this weekend, having this adventure. So anyway, Dora and Diego went to Samoa for 2 weeks. Diego shouted me that trip for my birthday because, 50's a big deal, right? It's 50's a big deal, like I said. Anyway, on that trip, we had the best time. So if you're interested in Samoa, there is a video, quite a few lives, and I've taken the lives in locations where you see really cool things like blowholes on lava fields, an amazing church that's engulfed by lava. So there's a playlist called Samoa. Check that out. It's really cool. Samoa is amazing. It's a country that not a lot of people travel to, but in Australia and New Zealand, a lot of Samoans live in Australia and New Zealand. So Samoans are just such nice, down-to-earth people. They're very friendly. And if you go to their country, way more friendlier too. So anyway, Samoa's amazing. So anyway, on that trip, so I'm talking to Taylor, I think. Yeah, Taylor. So I'm talking to all of you guys, but Taylor said, yeah, Samoa and Luxembourg are not really, they're not exactly close, right? So in the month of May, 61 was Samoa and 62 was Luxembourg. But I hadn't planned to go to Luxembourg, guys, because really, I'm going to be honest, Luxembourg is a country that it's very small. It's in the middle of Europe. It's a financial kind of capital. I probably crossed it on a train before when I was traveling in Europe, but I never got out because Luxembourg is notoriously expensive. Okay, very expensive. So anyway, when I was in Samoa, I got a message from one of my good girlfriends. So I told you, I actually haven't told you, I used to live in Mexico. So that's why I've used Explorer, as in the Espanol version. Not that I'm fluent in Spanish, but when I lived in Mexico, I had a Mexican boyfriend. I tried to live the Mexican way. So I did try to learn a bit of Espanol. So that's why I've got Explorer spelt that way. But when I lived in Mexico, and I've lived there about 3 different times in my life. I lived there when I was 25 years old. So I was mentioning that I did a bit of traveling in the States. So I was working in the States selling timeshare, and then I ended up in Mexico selling timeshare. That's another story, right, for another day. But when I worked there, I made some really, really good friends. So fast forward another 15 years, I came back to visit. I visited a few times, my friends there. I've made some really good connections. Some of my best friends are Mexican. Like Susan, she probably has some really good friends that she's just had for a long time, because Taurinians, when they mate or they connect with someone, they really connect with someone. They get to know them on a deep level. So anyway, I made a lot of friends in Mexico, right? The last time I lived there was 11 years ago, but I haven't been back since. But a good girlfriend sends me a message. She says, hey, you haven't responded to my WhatsApp message. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, I have. And she goes, no, you haven't. I said, yeah. I said, blah, blah, blah. She goes, no, you've missed a complete message. I invited you to my wedding. I'm like, what? So I've met her husband, her fiance. I actually met up with her when I was in Europe, probably 15 years ago. I was traveling with a different boyfriend, and we went to Paris specifically to see my friend Adriana. So she's been living in France with her Spanish boyfriend. Anyway, long story short, I had to go, right? Because you live life once, it's just money. And I say that in the most nicest way, because I know that doesn't grow on trees, right? But I don't have children, okay? I know a lot of people, they save their money for their children, like the inheritance and stuff like that. All they're doing is, saving to pay off the house, so that house is, and they do the house up and they buy another house so that their children are looked after when they die. I love that ethos, right? But at the same time, my mum, I'm like, spend the money, mum. Actually live. My mum is 75 years old. She lives on a farm like Susan, living her best life, completely homesteading, right? And she drives the dingiest car. And I say, Mum, live a little. I know you've got a granddaughter and you think that, when you pass away, you want to pass on something. Don't worry about us. We can earn our own money. Enjoy your life, man. Life is short. Anyway, so I'm going off target. Where am I going with this? There was a point. So anyway, long story short, I decided to book that trip to Luxembourg. So I came back from Samoa, had 2 days to literally repack, wash my clothes, pack different clothes, because Samoa is very warm. I went in wintertime in May here, but still it's quite warm in Samoa. Probably about 23 degrees, 24 degrees a day, every day. It was absolutely beautiful. Got a nice suntan. So anyway, packing for Europe, I booked 10 days. So the wedding I was going to was in Lyon. So Lyon is a beautiful place. I'd never been in France. That's where my friend lived. So I went to the wedding. But of course, if I'm going to go all the way just for a wedding, which is quite excessive, right? That was the plan, to go for a wedding. But I decided to go see another country. I thought, well, if I'm going to go all the way to Europe, which is a long way from Australia, guys, a long way, I'm going to incorporate another country. I've never been to Luxembourg. If I go for a couple of days, I can afford that. Just backpacking in Luxembourg will cost you nearly the same as staying in a hotel. It's very expensive. So anyway, Luxembourg was my country 62. I absolutely love Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a country that I didn't even know about. All I know about it is it's expensive and it's a financial kind of banking area. It's way more than that. I could tell you about it and I would be here all day, okay? So there's some lives on Luxembourg and I take you on proper adventures. It's worth seeing, guys. So if you're interested in Luxembourg, go check out my playlist on Luxembourg. I have so much footage to come out from Luxembourg and from France, but lives is what I've got so far. So if you're interested, go check that out. But that's how I ended up there. So yeah, long story short. Hey Mike, how you going? So Mike Adventure Sparks is another friend I made I made friends with him through the comments of someone else's channel, and I just really was attracted to his name, which says adventurous, right? So I checked out his channel and I thought, he does really cool adventures. He's from Minnesota, and there was some footage I was watching by a lake. I didn't know where the lake was, but I thought that's pretty cool. So I, put a couple of comments, I subscribed, and then he was being a good YouTuber. He replied to his comments, and then he came over and checked my page out. And yes, he's been in my lives, and we've got to know a lot about Mike. So Mike was originally from Colorado. He loves fishing. So it's in the afternoon there in Minnesota. There is a good chance that he's watching. Actually, he's probably not watching. He's probably listening to me drone away about, X, Y, Z. So he loves fishing. So sometimes he's listening to podcasting with Dora while I walk on this beach. So I probably should start walking on this beach. Okay, guys, I need to drink this. So let's do this. Okay, let's put this down. Let's lean you up against the seagrass. Oops. There we go. Perfect. You stay there. And then the phone, the sky looks pretty cool actually, that angle, gotta say. Sorry guys, I'm using my tripod to drink. Okay, hold on, let's do this. That works, I think. Oh. Okay. We're struggling with the tripod today, guys. All right. Stay. Okay, I've drank my drink. Got a battery pack because it's guaranteed that I'll run out of battery by the end of my walk. That's happened a few times. So anyway, if you're interested in going for a walk with me, come along. Otherwise, yeah, if you'd like to check out my channel, that'd be lovely. If you're interested in travels and adventures, and I don't just travel overseas, guys. I live in Australia. I love Australia. I love hiking. There'll be a video coming out one day of a hike I did on Sunday. It was magnificent. I went through a rainforest at Mount Glorious. It was just glorious. So anyway, we're just gonna put this back in the car. And then we're gonna go for a walk. Then we're gonna have a chat. Just bear with me. Headphones, have some water. All right. Like I'm a doctor. This is my stethoscope. Let me take your temperature. Are you hot? Hot, hot? It's not a great angle, but I don't care. I'm not here about angles. All right, we can go back down on the beach. Hey, Carrie, you just saw me jumping. Excellent. Carrie, I've got to say, would that not be a nice picture to watercolor paint? I, I should actually take a photo of that, but if I do a screenshot, I run the risk of, yeah, turning the whole live off, which happens quite a lot. I'm testing a new theory out today, guys. So it's 7:06 a.m. on Wednesday morning here in Australia, and I reckon that turned out to be a nice sunrise, guys. Really nice. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, no, zoom out. Okay, guys, we're going to walk that away, guys. So I've been having problems with my lives, guys. Now, this is for first world problems. Like, they're not really problems, guys. I mean, I don't take much. Like, I've kind of said to you guys, if I cut off again, I'm just going to turn the live off. But I guess as you guys being the watchers of these lives, you probably do get a little bit annoyed, right? And I get it, okay? But I'm gonna be honest, right, guys? I don't do these lives. I don't do YouTube to to make money. I'm not monetized. I'm probably a long way away from being monetized. But I do it for fun, guys. I do it to make friends. I do it for shits and giggles, basically. If I wasn't doing a live right now, I would probably be videoing the sunrise. I'd definitely be doing a jumping for joy. I'd be sharing it on my own Facebook page. I put it in the stories. All my friends are used to me doing jumping for joys. My camera roll is full of videos of me jumping. It's just I just like jumping, guys. It brings me joy. Like I said in the start of my video, when I was introducing my channel is a lot about bringing out the little girl in you or the little boy in you, having adventures that we used to have when we were younger. Like, what happened to us that we we stopped playing, we stopped jumping, we stopped skipping, we stopped really enjoying life. And yeah, you're probably going to say, well, we had to adult, right? And I get that, but we don't adult all the time. Like, there's a picture of our, there's a bit of our time that we can actually enjoy. I know that, okay, I didn't have children, but if you have children, yes, I know you have to look after them. I get that, but you can still have adventures with them. People in the chat said to me one time, well, my kids play sandcastles, so I play sandcastles with them. Excellent. That's great. Love how the stormwater drain has kind of drained out here and turned into these little rivers. How cool is that? That is really cool. And then you look at that. Okay, Carrie, that's the photo right there. That picture there, like being able to paint those little rocks, that is so cool. So I'm talking to about watercolor with Carrie. Carrie's channel posts a lot of stuff on watercolors, obviously. That's the name of her channel. And Carrie is quite good at watercolors. She probably, well, I was going to say probably, she is quite skilled in watercolors. So, yeah, check her out. But why I mention watercolors is because when I travel, I have a little kind of travel watercolor kit with me with a water pen. All you do is just add water to the inside and then just dab it into the paints. And then I bring an A5 little notebook. So I do a bit of a sketch. So for example, when I was in Paris, so let's go Luxembourg, because I was just talking about Luxembourg. So Luxembourg has these amazing walled villages from war times, and it's spectacular. It's still preserved really well. It's UNESCO heritage site, and it's beyond beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful walled villages I've seen. Okay, got to be sidetracked, guys, because here comes the pelicans flying above us. Look at the wingspans of those. My gosh. Okay, you guys know I'm obsessed with pelicans. They're probably going to come back this way. Yep, here they go. Okay, guys, we're going to get a view here. Don't poop on me. Ooh, one of those birds wanted to do something, fight with them.
I love how they land, like they're like a plane. Okay. All right, guys, I'm sidetracked. I don't know oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about watercolors. So here I am in Luxembourg. I'm actually doing a live while I was walking around Luxembourg in this walled village, and I was talking about how I wanted to take a memory. So, like, of course, you can take photos and videos, right? But by being able to paint a vision, there was this beautiful lake, not lake, river, and there was a bridge, and then you could stand on the bridge, and the reflection of the buildings, all these coloured buildings into the water, was just absolutely stunning, guys. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So I wanted to, yeah, stop at this little bridge. I had a little picnic. I had a baguette that I made up because I'm a backpacker, right, guys? I do everything as cheap as possible because, especially in a country like Luxembourg, it's so damn expensive. So I'd been to the supermarket. I had a croissant. Actually, no, I had a baguette. I had a baguette, some salami, some cheese. I had a little travel knife with me. I cut up some tomato. Had a bit of tomato in there. It was bonza. Then I pulled out my little bottle of wine. I had a little bottle of wine because in Luxembourg they have a lot of French wine. And when in France, you got to drink French wine. I'm going to be honest, okay? Every day is a school day for me. And I had a little bit of wine. Not to get drunk, guys, just to enjoy the moment. So I poured a little bit of wine into a little plastic cup. No one knew what I was drinking. It could have been drinking water for all they knew, okay? So I wasn't being a menace. But I was just sitting on the bridge, had my little baguette, a bit of wine, then I started painting. And the reflection is just stunning. My painting might not be amazing, right? But to me, that painting is amazing because it represents a beautiful day in my life. Like, yes, I can go look at a photo and it looks pristine, like exactly what I saw, right? But I sat down for about an hour and I painted this really cool landscape. The reflection to me was just something I've never seen before. It just looked gorgeous. So anyway, that's, yeah, I love watercolors, love art, love painting. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. But anyway, yes, that's what Carrie does on her page, and that's why when she jumps on, I kind of say, oh, wouldn't that be nice to paint? Because yeah, she paints. Mike's got that's a big aeroplane. Yes, isn't that pretty cool? I gotta say, I feel very, very blessed. Turn around again. Oh, yep, that's well and truly up the sun now. Very, very beautiful. Oh, Carrie's got, I don't know what I'm doing. I think you know what you're doing, mate. How long have you been painting, Carrie? Come on, tell me. Because, like, literally, I seem to only paint when I go on holidays, okay? So I went on holidays in February. I went to Indonesia to see my mum's family and I did some painting. Actually, that's not a bad painting, actually. So in Indonesia, obviously, it's a very big Muslim country. I am not Muslim. My mother is not Muslim. I've got nothing against Muslims. I absolutely love the faith. So why I mention it is because the country of Sumatra, which is the capital of Indonesia, and that's where my mum's from. So she has a house there, and the houses are these like, okay, see that house there, that tall thing? It's a bit of an eyesore, right? So think that height. So my mum's house is that height, but really thin. So it's really thin, and there's all these houses all lined up, all the same level. So that's very typical of houses in like new houses that people build. So you're living in like, you've got to walk up all these stairs. So basically on the roof, if you go up onto the roof at sunrise, well actually before sunrise, so about 4:30 a.m. the call to prayer starts. So I think most people are familiar with the call to prayer, but to hear it on a rooftop at 4:30 a.m., it's absolutely stunning. I can't even explain to you how stunning it is. Oh yeah, I'll do another plug. There is a live. I don't know if it's a playlist. Actually, there might be a playlist called Indonesia. and yeah, you'll hear the call to prayer, and it's like a competition, because on the roof there's like a mosque that way, there's a mosque that way, and there's a mosque behind me. So they're all playing their music, and they're all having their call to prayer. And it's actually not very typical to have a woman do the call to prayer. It's normally a man's thing. But one of the mosques actually has a lady's voice, and I tell you, it's absolutely beautiful. So most mornings you can't not hear the call to prayer. It wakes you up. It's not a bad alarm clock. And yeah, I absolutely love it. But anyway, on the roof, I got very inspired, and I pulled out my paints and started painting like the vision of this, what I was looking at. And every time I look at the painting, I think of the call to prayer, because I've painted the mosque in there, and the location is like where my grandfather and my grandmother used to live. And yeah, it just brings back such nice memories. And to be able to paint that and have that on hand, like, not too many people actually print photos out these days. And if you're in the chat and you're probably, under 30, under 40 probably, you probably never ever had to go to a local photo shop and print off your camera roll. Yeah, when I first went to Europe 25 years ago, that's how I took photos. I had my camera, click, and then I would take them to a Kodak shop, get the 36 roll, turn into some pictures, and it'd be so exciting to see what you took. And sometimes it was an epic fail, because you're like, damn, I have my finger in the picture. And the pictures are not that great, it is what it is. These days, these phones that, I'm using right now take magnificent pictures, right? But we don't print them off. They just sit on our camera roll or our hard drives. That's why I started my YouTube page, because I wanted to turn my photos and my videos into some kind of story, so that my future self can go watch them. And you know what's really, really interesting? My mum watches them. She absolutely adores them, because they're kind of like our family album, if you look at it that way. So, like, for example, there's a video I took last Christmas of my mum, my sister, and my niece. We went to an Indonesian Christmas party here in Brisbane. I didn't film my sister and my niece, but I've got pictures of my mum and me. And yeah, I'm learning about the Batik region, which is my mum's kind of region. And yeah, it's actually it's a really good video. So if you're interested in that, it's about November last year. I made that video, and it's the actual thumbnail is a picture of myself and my mum. And my mum loved the video. I put it together. Actually, I probably didn't. It didn't print it later. Sorry. It was probably I uploaded it in January. Actually, it was after the effect. So guys, what you're looking at right now is a boat that has been wrecked on the beach. It's really sad. This boat, when I've been walking on the beach, has been out here. It's been looking really picturesque, sitting out in the water. And this poor guy, unfortunately, last Friday afternoon, his mooring slipped, and there's a lot of rocks here. And you can see the boat's quite deteriorated. So it hit some rocks and it completely stuffed it badly. You can see all the insides are all open. So she's proper stuffed. Now, I did go talk to him the other day, so I actually met him. He's a nice guy. His name's Ben. He bought this boat 2 months ago, and it cost him $5,000, and it's literally a wreck. So the council have given him till the middle of September to get the boat off the beach. So I don't know what's happening here. Some guy's mouthing off. Or maybe he's not. He's just having a chat. So I'm hoping that the guy on the other side of this is the actual owner of the boat, trying to take off some of the stuff, and not someone just trying to steal stuff. because you know what people are like these days. People will, you know, there's a little boat here. They'll, you know, go on there and they'll ransack it and they'll take stuff. So it's very sad. So guys, I'm just gonna have a look. I don't want to. I'm not going to show you guys him. I just want to see if he's okay because I did meet him the other day. His name's Ben. I offered my partner to go down there and help him take some stuff off it because my partner's a carpenter, so it's quite handy with tools. So he came down here and, you know, introduced himself and tried to help him, but yeah, he wasn't really in a good frame of mind to actually start moving stuff. I'm just really hoping that that's him on the other side. Anyway, I'm just gonna have a chat, but I'm gonna put the camera down because I don't want to show you his face. You know, I'm not here to, yeah. So anyway, I'll just put it down, guys. How you going? Are you looking after the boat for Ben? Oh, that's good. Is Ben okay? Yeah, I kind of thought that. Poor guy.
I'm retired by then.
Are you his friend from across the road? No, he's someone else. Okay.
Those guys, I'm just getting into direction.
Yeah, because I offered my partner's a carpenter, and he came down to help him, but he wasn't in a good state. Yeah. Oh, look, that was worse enough for what happened to him. Really bad.
A bit worse.
Well, he's alive. Yeah, it's the main thing.
Um,
But is he like in somewhere sleeping? Like, so was someone was going to offer him somewhere to live here? Oh, he is there. Okay, that's good. I wasn't. Yeah, because he did say that.
Fine.
Okay.
I volunteer at Norris Street.
Oh yeah, I know them. Yeah. Okay.
And, they were supposed to come here last night, but they didn't. But I'm gonna do a few things. I'm busy today, but tomorrow night I'll take him up to the Sutton's Beach one and get him. He needs He needs to just start doing something, sitting around.
Yeah, he's been watching it. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Done.
That's why I thought that. Yeah.
I talk to everyone that come along, we didn't get them.
No, it's all right. But look, yeah,
But
but
I enjoy
yeah,
talking.
no, but
Keep
like,
working.
as I said, my partner was happy to help, but he just needed some direction from someone to help him do it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to come down by himself and do it.
Well, I can. I'm busy this afternoon. Thursday, I'm at a manual sea mission for the day.
What about the weekend?
Yeah, no, I'll be coming, just plodding along, giving a hand.
Okay.
Like I said to him, you just come down here and save us all and start cutting it.
Yeah.
Hey, the tree needs to take everything out of it, and it accidentally catches on fire.
But it's not insured.
No, it's to get rid of it.
Oh right, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, he thought then when a scrap metal place was going to come down and take it.
Yeah.
That was his dreams. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just here to do that.
Anyway, good work. Thanks for doing that because I've been worried. But
Yeah,
okay,
no.
I'm glad to know he's there. I was going to give him some shoes, but I hadn't seen him, so I was like,
no, he's a bit of a, I don't know, there's something going on, but it doesn't really matter, you know.
yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm glad you're helping.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Hey, Deb, how you going? So, guys, our friend is he's sleeping in there. The guy that owns the boat. I'm not going to talk about it because it's his business. Anyway, he's okay. Put it that way. So anyway, we're going walking, guys. Hey, Deb. So anyway, Deb, how are you going? How are you feeling? You're home from hospital. So my friend Deb has been in hospital. She's in Texas, Spring, Texas, my friend. And yeah, she's not been well. So it's good to, see you here and that you found me. Always good when you find me. So Deb, you missed a really nice sunrise. It was a bit cloudy, but it was really beautiful. Really beautiful. So guys, we're going for a walk that way, naturally, because that's the way we're walking. I don't know how far we're going to walk today, guys. I don't have a plan when I walk. I just kind of walk. I actually do have the day off today. I was just saying to you earlier that this week is the Brisbane show is on. So different regions have different days off. So I actually had Monday off because that was my region's day off. But I actually, looks like I probably do have today off too, because a client that I work with today, I normally worked with him this afternoon. He cancelled because he was sick. Yeah, people are getting the flu. So yeah, I haven't heard from him, and I would say more than likely that he's not going to be working today. So we work together, and yeah. So anyway, I actually probably haven't told you guys what I do for a living. So I actually help young adults with disabilities want to work. So that sounds a bit different, weird, want to work. So in Australia here, if you have a recognised disability and you are verified and you go through lots of hoops and jumps, you can be put on a pension. It's called a disability pension. It's not a lot of money, but it's basically money that the government will give you to sustain your life. Now, it's not a huge lot of money in today's climate. For example, it's about, look, I don't get the money myself, so I wouldn't know. But last time I kind of was involved with helping people get the pension, it was about $450 a week. So it's around about it's over $1,000 now. So that's 1,000 Australian dollars. So just say if you're in North America, looking at US dollars, that's probably about 500. Let's go with 500 US dollars a week. Actually, no, fortnight. Sorry. So 500 US dollars a fortnight that you get from our government if you've been verified. And like I'm saying to you, you could be nearly dying and you can not get the pension. So it's not something that everyone gets. Love these rocks. So Carrie, if you're still here, again, another bit I would like to take a photo of is that kind of view there. Like you've got a bit of green, the green moss on the rocks, the little puddles, the sky just looks amazing. These green rocks are just beautiful. Like Mother Nature is saying, paint me, paint my picture. Just love that. So really, I mean, I could come down here one morning and sit here and paint this. I mean, I could do that. I've never done that. I could do that though, couldn't I? So yeah, back about what I do for a living. Hey, Deb and Mike. So trekking with Deb and Mike are my good friends who hike in America. And yeah, they're always taking us on these adventures. And yeah, I obviously connected with them because I do a lot of hiking. So not only do I like adventures, well, hiking's an adventure to me, right? So my channel's anything can be adventure to me. Like I can go to the supermarket and it can be an adventure. I just love having adventures. And this is my local beach, Deb and Mike. This is southeast Queensland in a place called Redcliffe. So I'll just show you Mike and Deb. There's actually a boat on the beach. Poor thing. It actually got washed up and the boat is completely stuffed. So there's a guy there trying to take off some of the valuable bits for the owner. So anyway, this is Moreton Bay. Really good for fishing, really good for boating, especially because it's quite flat today. So we have an island in front of it. If you can zoom in there, you can see an island. That's Moreton Island. So this place is called Moreton Bay. That's why we don't have big waves. So the Gold Coast, which is about that way, an hour and a half that way, you will see waves on the beach, white sand. And when you walk on the sand, it makes like a boink, 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 because the sand is very, oh my gosh, there's a word for it. Oh my gosh, it's a special sand. I can't remember the name of it. Guys, it's a bit of sea glass. So normally I have my bucket with me But I wasn't planning to walk on the beach for very long today, guys. I was planning to go for a walk down to Woody Point that I've been walking the last couple of days. But I don't know, I haven't made my mind up what I'm going to do this morning. As I said, oh, that's right, I was talking about what I do for a living. Got sidetracked. So yeah, so in Australia, yes, you can get money if you are permanently disabled from the government, but the government recognise that there's a lot of young people that are put on disability payments that could probably work, but they just need to be given some skills so they can get jobs, right? So my job is to teach them some soft skills, like for example, you know, catching a bus and train, communication, social skills. You know, if you're a young person and you finish school and you have a disability, sadly, most times these kids stay at home and they just watch YouTube all day. And just generalizing here, but if that happens, you know, you don't have a very good social, you know, group of friends anymore because you're out of school. You know, normally when you get jobs, you make friends. I know for me, when I finished school, I went to college, made some friends at college, made some friends at school, sorry, at work. So I'm now got a, you know, a friend base of school friends, primary school, high school, college friends, all the different works I've had. You know, I make friends on YouTube, I make friends on Instagram, I make friends, different things I go to. So, you know, like if you are just staying at home, you're really not making a lot of friends. So, yeah, so basically, the government, I get paid via the government to help some young people, try to motivate them to go work. So part of that could be taking them for a beach walk because, again, they are sitting at home very stagnant. So, yeah, they're not exercising. So part of getting a job is more than likely standing on your feet for like more than 4 hours a day, right? So my kind of goal is to be able to get them to do 2 shifts a week of 4 hours or 3 3-hour shifts a week to do 9 hours a week. And yeah, you have to be able to stand for 3 hours, right? So I have one boy that I work with that he's got Williams syndrome, and I'd never heard of Williams syndrome before. It's a very interesting disability. It's kind of like Down syndrome. If Kelly was here, she'd actually, I don't think Kelly's here anymore. Hey, Lavender. Hey, Lavender, how you going? So, how are you going? So, Lavender's our friend that we've known for a while in our chats from our doing our lives and walking on the beach. And yeah, we love Lavender. And Lavender's been going through a bit of some health issues, like my friend Deb. So we're always checking on them to make sure they're okay. So guys, that's one of the stand-up paddle boards that a couple of weeks ago I was having a chat to a guy that was pumping it up. It's probably his, but they're really cool. That's an inflatable one. So basically you got to pump it up and then you just deflate it and put it back in your car. But they're pretty solid, and because it's quite flat here, it's really good to, yeah, use. So anyway, let me go on a little bit more. Okay, so Lavender's saying, I'm okay, have been a bit down lately. Oh, Lavender, I wish I could give you a hug, mate. I mean, obviously I don't know the full details, but I know things haven't been great with your results from your hospital, or from the doctors, should I say. Did you want to give us information about where you're at with that? Obviously, if you don't have to, I don't want to, but just out of I want to care for you, and just to make sure that you know, hope that you're okay. At the start of my live, Lavender, there's quite a few jumps. I think I did 3 all up. So if you want to have a laugh, go back and watch the start of my lives. There's 3 jumping for joys, just for you to giggle at. Well, Lavender, I'm good, but I'm going to start this off with saying, can everyone put in the chat what they're grateful for today? because you know what I want to say, Lavender? I'm grateful for the friends I've made when I've been doing these lives. Because Lavender, you were probably one of my first friends by doing these lives. Deb, another friend that, again, they don't post content, so I would never have found them if I didn't do a live. And then they've jumped on my lives when I've been doing my training for my mental health walk, and they kept me company, and they listened to me talk about my stories about my friend Esther that I do the walk for. And that was great company for me, so I appreciate you guys. And obviously from there I've met quite a few other friends that are in the chat today, like Susan, Mike. Good friend of mine is Paul D Australia. He'll jump on the live probably in about an hour because he's probably sleeping in this morning. So there's a lot of really good people that I've met through these lives. A lot of people, there's pros and cons to doing lives, guys. I'm just gonna be honest. But I want to share that in a upcoming post or video, should I say. Look at that. Look at the color of that. No filter. And that's another thing, right, guys? When you do lives, there's no filter. There's no editing. This is raw. How beautiful is that, guys? It's like carpet. I actually used to have shag carpet like that in my bedroom, my childhood bedroom. It was so gross, but the color was pretty cool. Because back in the 70s, shag pile was popular. So that reminds me of shag pile. So anyway, that's what I'm grateful for this morning. Does anyone else want to go first and say what they're grateful for? Okay, Carrie has. I'm grateful for my husband who works so hard and remains kind and patient and kind and hilarious. Oh, that's beautiful, Carrie. And look, Carrie, it's lovely to get to know you more. It is really difficult to get around to everyone's pages and give them some love. So I will make it a priority of mine to go check out your page because I would really like to see what you're up to with your painting. Can you just kind of tell us what your latest video is about, Carrie? Because then maybe other people might want to come check that out too, including myself. So guys, someone has put a crab pot here. Oh gosh, I hope there's no crab. There is a crab in it, guys. I think there's a crab in it. No, it's not. What is in there? Oh, bread. Okay, so someone's put bread in a crab pot. That looks like fresh bread too. So obviously they're waiting for the tide to come up and then they all get some crabs, some sand crabs. So anyone tasted sand crabs before? They're so sweet. They're very tasty and there's lots of crabs out here. Okay, so Carrie painted a cute little ladybug yesterday. I've got some fun plans for autumn and Christmas season. Ah, that sounds interesting. Love a ladybug. So it's very, very lucky to find ladybugs, right? Do you believe that too, Carrie? So in my garden, I'm also love gardening. I love growing things that that I know I grew and watch it turn into a little plant that we get to eat. And I also know that I haven't put any chemicals on it. It's homegrown. Yeah, I love that. Anyway, but yeah, sometimes I find ladybird bugs on them, but we also get the orange variety. So the orange variety with lots and lots of black dots on them, they're actually not good. They're actually bad ladybugs. And we've got to kill those ones because they eat all the plants, our leaves and stuff. So yeah, hope karma doesn't come back and get me on that one. But yeah, apparently they're the ones you want to get rid of. And so I don't use chemicals. So you actually have to either use there's different things you can use out of your garden. Apparently I read that tomato leaves, if you use tomato leaves, you soak them in water and then drain, and then just use the water as spray. Apparently the smell of the tomato leaves deters some insects. I don't know what insects, so that's something I need to look at. So for example, I've been crushing eggshells. I blitz them, I put them in the oven, bake them a little bit so they get a bit harder, and then I blitz them in a blitzer. So my friend Susan, it's a High Country Homestead. I think she might have left. Oh no, she's still there. She's still there. So what she does, because she actually homesteads, so she lives on the land like with solar. So she's not using an oven or a blitzer to do this. She simply gets her eggshells, like she's got lots of chickens. So she just gets her eggshells. I'm sure she probably washes them first. And maybe she puts them in front of her fire, because that would dry them out and make them hard instead of using power, right? And then she puts them in a plastic bag and she smashes them. And then she puts them in her chicken feed. So I've taken on that one and I'll be putting them in my chicken feed too. I never used to do that, but that is one of the things you can do. And it makes, because it's full of calcium, right? So the chickens eat that amongst their chicken food, and it makes their eggs harder, because sometimes the chickens will lay soft eggs. It means they're like lacking in calcium. So it's like a natural way of getting a better egg. But I use my shells to basically you put a ring around your plant, and that makes it like it's supposed to be like a barrier, so the slugs can't get over slugs will go over, they can't get over your little eggshell mound basically. But what I've been using for is actually digging it into the soil to give it calcium. So especially like I grow a lot of mixed lettuces in planter pots. So planter pots, because they're not earthed, they need to get nutrients. So I've been putting nutrients every 2 weeks into them. So anyway, guys, we could go around the point there. Actually, we will. But I'm going to be honest with you. I reckon we're going to cut out. So let's test this theory, guys. So I've been talking about how, I've been talking a lot of things, right, guys? But there's a sunrise. This is turning out to be a beautiful summer day, guys. Sorry, winter day. This is winter. My gosh. I was talking originally when I first got to the beach about I've been having issues with my phone cutting out. So I've been in the middle of a live and it just cuts out. So the most obvious reason why it cuts out is because sometimes your strength of the internet cuts out. Like for example, I'm on 5G right now. I'm dropping down to 2 signals on 5G. So sometimes when it goes to 4G, the actual signal is not strong enough for the live to keep going. So there's certain areas that I go that I know the signal will probably cut out. I've been able to walk down here quite easily most days if I'm doing a live, and it doesn't cut out. But there's some stairs at the back here that I'm going to walk up, and I have a feeling the internet will probably cut out there. So if it does, guys, I will come back with another live when I get to the top of the stairs. But it might not cut out because my friend Mike, no, not Mike, sorry, Paul D Australia sent me some things saying, hey, I know you've been having issues with your internet dropping out. And I know from like you guys' point of view it is quite annoying. So look at these little boat houses. So yeah, as I said, I will come back with another live. So just need to come find my channel. So that's why if you subscribe to me, it helps because you know where I am, Explorer 80. But there's a couple of things you can do. Like Paul D gave me a whole lot of information, and some of the stuff I've checked out and done. But I also did what most people do these days, is you put your problem into Google, right? So I actually put my problem into Google, and it said about something like this. It said that my screensaver. So for example, I've not touched my screen. I'm just touching my screen now. So after 5 minutes, if you haven't touched your screen automatically locks, right? So I've noticed if I've been walking along the beach, and if I put my phone down, like I put my phone sometimes down when I go to the toilet, and of course, if I haven't touched my phone screen for 5 minutes, not that I've been on the toilet for 5 minutes, but I haven't touched my phone for 5 minutes and I put it down, it automatically locks off after 5 minutes. So I was on a live, I think Monday, and yeah, I went to the toilet and it locked off. So yeah, so it's annoying for you guys, but I did say to you I wouldn't come back after it disconnected. So anyway, I've turned off my screen lock. So if I just put my phone down now, it would stay on. That's if there was enough data, obviously, to run it. So I'm on 3G right here, which is nice. Morning. So yeah, this is Scott's Point. This is kind of Scott's Point Cove. It's a really nice place to swim here. It looks a bit seagrassy at the moment, but depends on like the tide. But this is normally picturesque. I think it's picturesque. I'd still swim here, guys. But it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, like I said, guys, if I switch off, you know what's happened, because we're going up here. Whoa. We're going up these stairs. So yeah, as I said, this is a really picturesque little bit. Just go for a swim. Yeah, you know what, Lumber? Actually, oh my gosh, Lumber, you know what I've done? I've actually got my togs in my car. So I actually could go for a swim this afternoon, or this morning. When I go back to the car, I can. Oh my gosh, I can. Thank you for that reminder, Lavender. And another thing that happens, and this is another suggestion by Paul, was to turn off all my apps. So I've got all my apps closed. They might be running in the background, but they're not open. So that could help. So Paul D Australia is a hive of information for me. When I hike upstairs, this is the song I sing. I love stairs, I love stairs. Stairs love me, I love stairs. I love stairs, stairs love me. Yeah, that's the song I sing when I go up the stairs. Okay, that'll work, guys. My breathing. Wow, look at that. It's a Porsche. Woohoo. Nice. Oh, something's happening here, guys. So these are all the houses above that cove. So something's... Oh, sewer line. They're redoing the sewer. So guys, that's like a vac truck that sucks up the poop. Ooh. So anyway, they must be doing something to do with the sewer there, guys. Okay, so I've been neglecting the chat. Did anyone else say what they're grateful for this morning? Okay, see you, Susan. She's probably gone now. Hey, Gina. Hey, Miss Gina. How you going? Hey, Miss Gina. I know it's the afternoon for you, but can you tell us in the chat what you're grateful for? I'd love to know what you're grateful for today. Oh, Miss Carrie, I'm so glad that you've been walking on your treadmill for 30 minutes, and I'm glad I got to motivate you. See you, Carrie. So yeah, guys, you should check out Carrie's my gosh, her channel, Watercolor Carrie. So screenshot that, guys, because she's got a channel, yeah, in watercolors, and she's a lovely lady. She drops in here from time to time and chat. So yeah, I need to get back to her channel and check out what she's painted. Oh, she just missed out on seeing this painting. So we're going to go see that ship. It looks like that now. That's called the Gander. It used to be a gunship, so you can do the cannon at the front. So it was a gunship. It has now been wrecked on the beach a bit south of me right now. It looks more like that now. But isn't this a beautiful picture? Turtles, Mr. Pelican, dolphin. I don't think you've seen this, Lavender, have you? It's a beautiful painting. I said on my last live that I'd like to paint that there. That is what I'd like to paint. And I think Mike said, yeah, I can do it. Of course I can do it, Mike. I can do it. We can do it. We can do it. So it's got a bit of a holiday vibe to today because people from Brisbane have got the day off. Also, school kids have the day off today. So yeah, People's Day. We call it People's Day. So it's quite a nice day. And I've got to say, you've given me a great idea, Lavender. I'm sure I don't have to work today because I said my client that I'll work with today was sick yesterday, and it's more than likely that he's going to be still sick today. Good morning. So guys, I put the phone down every time someone comes by because they didn't subscribe to being videoed. Wow, such a beautiful day, guys. I need to take my jumper off actually. But you know, it feels nice and toasty. Okay, so Lavender's got, I'm grateful for Carrie painting videos to give me ideas of what to paint. Oh, I love that. That's great. And High Country's got another day.